5th of June, I believe it was, Putin came out and said, okay, look, America, the West, you want to give weapons to our enemy to attack on our soil, then why should I not be able to do the same thing? And so he has laid out this concept anyway. Do you think that Putin will actually make good on that? Or is that something he's just going to keep in his pocket if he needs it later?
The Biden administration has made it clear that all that Ukraine can do is use those ATACMS missiles and other missiles that we have given them for limited attacks across the Russian-Ukrainian border, that they cannot use those missiles for deep strikes. So I think as long as they don't use the ATACMS for deep strikes deep into the heart of the Russian homeland, you're fine. So far, so good. But let's assume that the Biden administration changes its mind, or let's assume that the Ukrainians just decide they're going to use the missiles that we gave them to launch attacks deep into Russia. I believe that the Russians will successfully knock down most of those missiles, the long-range missiles. They won't do significant damage, and therefore there will not be a significant escalation. And there will certainly not be, if I'm right, the threat of nuclear escalation. But let's assume I'm wrong. Let's assume that the Biden administration says you can use these deep strike missiles to hit well into the Russian homeland, and the Ukrainians do that, and they have great effect. Then you're playing with fire, because then the Russians are likely to do something that's quite extreme. They're likely to make it clear to us that we've crossed a red line, and they're going to retaliate in a serious way so that we cease and desist from doing this. But my bottom line is, Danny, I don't think we're going to give the Ukrainians permission to do that, the deep strikes. And number two, I think if they do the deep strikes, they won't be very effective. Therefore, I think, and I want to underline the word think, we'll be okay.